So today I have been learning the importance of ownership. And even though this is something that I feel like I've already known, a lot of people already know, the reason why I'm saying this is because my emotions, I feel like I don't like being told what to do. I'm be honest with you. And I started a business, because I was the type of person where I'm like, I don't want to get a job. Jobs aren't for me. And I still believe that firmly. So I was like, let me start this service based business. Let me start, selling a service, selling, doing something like that, right? What happened was I started getting annoyed because with a service based business, you're still like in like the hands of somebody else. It wasn't like a full position of ownership. So I was like, okay, this is getting annoying. Like like literally today, and not without me saying like too much. It's just been instances where it's like there's projects we need to get off the ground. There's things we need to do. There's like avenues that we need to be taking as a team and as a collective. Me and certain clients, etc. And it's just stalemating. And in the back of my head, I'm like, yes, I can focus on everything else. I have other things that I can be doing. It's not necessarily that big of a problem, but this idea, is actually pretty good. I would like to see it through, and not being in the position to where I can just put it in action. It always rubs me wrong. Um, and as I grow, I'm like kind of seeing that there's different avenues in making money that's truer to me. It's kind of crazy when we start talking about money and stuff like that because it's so much of a negative connotation around it and how we make it, how we attain it, and all this other type of stuff. Especially if you grew up in, let's say, urban environment, to say the least. I'm out here in Los Angeles, so you can paint the picture a little bit of what I'm saying. You don't necessarily see all the options that we have, right? And as I got more emotionally intelligent and I started like addressing how I felt, addressing the things that was going on with myself, I started seeing when I was at certain jobs, it just felt like I wanted to, I don't even, yeah, like I'm not gonna say the words, stuff like that, but I just wasn't rocking with my life. And it made me start looking outwards. And every single time I would see somebody else living their life happy, enjoying what they're doing and then making more than I'm making, it was like, wow, okay, I probably need to learn more. I need to be exposed to more. And then when I started getting around these rappers and, these different lifestyles and, my clientele is actually pretty decent. It was like high clientele, high value or whatever the fuck you want to say. Um, I got exposed to lifestyles that was like, there's no way I'm going to get the things that you have attained, you've acquired while working in certain places. I would have to at some point take a leap of faith and do something different. And acknowledge that sooner than later. You know, I'm only 22 right now. I'm about to turn 23 next month. I was saying in high school, I don't even want to go to college because I don't see the point. I'd rather start a business. I'd rather go get the work experience. I'd rather go put in the work instead of go to college. But, I got forced to go to college in a sense. It was one of those instances where it was like go to college or you get kicked out. And I'm not gonna lie, my 18-year-old mind, I was very smart, but I was underdeveloped when it came to my own independence. And I just kind of went with the flow, just like if I don't have a choice. I just felt like I was forced. What's it called? When you're coming from households and instances like that, you really don't even consciously know, or like it's like but you don't believe it because all the people around you in your environment, they're all pushing you and telling you to go down one route. But everybody with eyeballs can see that there's a whole different route that we could be taking. But they themselves don't have the self-esteem. They themselves don't have the confidence or the courage to go down that path for whatever reason. So they're trying to deter you from going down that route out of safety sometimes, sometimes out of love. They don't want you to get hurt. They don't want you to hit your head and things like that, like they had to. But I feel like everybody lives their own life and everybody has their own unique path. And if we are so programmed to believe that we are supposed to live life like how the people around us live life, then that's exactly what we're going to get. And I hope that you're around people living life ideal to what you see or is true to you in a sense. And Yeah, I kind of like a little bit like lost where I really started this video, but it was talking about ownership. Yeah, there we go. Um, this content thing. This is a exhibit of ownership. Um, Starting, some type of clothing brand, selling some type of product is ownership. My service-based business was an ownership position too. All the pictures and stuff that I've took, I own everything. And like I have some intellectual property under me, and realistically, that's probably worth some money, you know. Um, but I guess probably just not time yet, or I haven't seen the opportunity to like, monetize off that yet. But it's just that principle, I've just been really paying attention more to myself, focusing on myself and doing the things that I actually want to do. And it's had me instill a spirit of discipline for sure. And like not cutting corners, like doing things the right way. Like when you can somewhat lean on other people for help, when you can lean on other people to help you and give you money. Even clients, clients are like leaning on other people in a sense. Um, you kind of get a little bit comfortable, even though you have to execute, right? You still get a little bit of comfortability. But when all of your income is solely based upon you and your performance, I mean, from the ground up, like it's completely vertically integrated, that right there is a position that not a lot of people get to, but it's so freeing because you no longer have to step outside of who you are to do what you want to do. Like, I really hope I'm staying on track, but I'm just letting these words flow out how they're coming out, how the channel's coming. A lot of America and society is struggling right now in a real way. And it's, hid behind all the glamour and shit like that. Beverly Hills, all this fancy cars and, Instagram and stuff like that. We see a lot of success, but the mass majority of America is not benefiting from that wealth. And that's because they either A, have not been exposed to avenues that they can make more money, or B, their self esteem and their confidence has just been shot down by life so bad to the point where they don't even try. And I think that's where a lot of people are at right now. A lot of people are just aren't trying. They have the goals, they have the want to do it, but then they smother themselves with quote unquote responsibilities or self-limiting beliefs, telling themselves why they can't go after the thing that they want to do. And then they say, well, I'm trying, I got to do this first, I got to do that, I got to do, but they haven't actually did the thing that they wanted to do. A lot of people's ideas and dreams and ambitions is stuck in their head. They're stuck in their body. It takes a level of courage and self-belief to start pushing it outwards because you're literally sculpting your reality. You're sculpting your life in real time. You're like manifesting what you see. Um, yeah, there's a lot of spiritual principles when it comes to how we live our life and the avenues we choose to take. Um, and the more you heal, the more you address yourself, the more you grow, the better you'll be able to see the things that's in front of you and around you. Because everybody here is on a different level of awareness and healing, etc. You know, um, all it takes is that one spark, that one strong belief in yourself to change everything, to really switch the whole dynamic of what you see to be true and life in general. So yeah, man, I think that's it for this video. I want y'all to love yourselves, really love yourselves. Let go, like what I be saying in my shorts and stuff like that. Letting go is not like you're in control, like you're just letting go of the iPhone. Letting go is more like you're being held from a bridge, and instead of you sitting there in fear and wondering if that person's ever going to pull you up and something changes, you decide to just let go and fall and see what happens. That's letting go. That's what letting go is actually feels like, and it's not always the funnest experience. It's usually very terrifying. But when you let go, you release all of that worry. You released all of that trauma and just pain from holding on to something that was never meant for you. Other than that, I love y'all, love y'all, love y'all, and I will see y'all on tomorrow's video because y'all know I'm coming back. Bingo. So I just did so much content. So much content. I think I recorded like 10 reels and a YouTube video.